Tennis, anyone? You better believe it. Now it's tennis everyone, to be played and enjoyed for a lifetime. These days, they play everywhere. Under simulated sunshine, in the cocoon of an all-weather bubble, or on a backyard court that has more status than a swimming pool. It is the Renaissance sport of the 70s, a game for the masses, where a coach inspires youngsters to greater heights. Tennis is a perpetuating drama with dreams, love, anger, frustration, grace, power, comedy, and tragedy. Each drama culminates with a loser and a winner. The professionals who play are the best there are. There is Sweden's Bjorn Borg enjoying rock star popularity. Billie Jean King, who created equal pay for women's play. Jimmy Connors, the eternal aggressor. Chris Evert with her radar-like precision. Ken Rosewall, whose competitive fires burn deep in the twilight of a brilliant career. John Newcombe, a classic exponent of the serve and volley game. Newcombe has captured just about every major title at least once. Wimbledon 3 times. An inspiration to youngsters everywhere, he enjoys the comforts of his own tennis ranch deep in the heart of Texas between tournaments. It's times like these, rallying with his son, that Newcombe can relax before returning to serious competition.
What? Get your racket back. Good shot. Get your racket back.
My son now is 6 years of age, and just in the, he's been holding a racket and hitting a ball since he was 18 months. We can go out in the court now and have fun and play a set where, you know, I play down to his standard, of course, and work out the match so that he hits enough winners to keep him confident and happy, and I make enough errors so that he keeps close to me and sometimes beats me and sometimes I beat him.
Win it. See if you can win it. Oh, yes. Too good.
Losing to his son is John Newcombe's pleasure, but winning the big ones like a U.S. Open quarterfinal match at Forest Hills is his business.
I kept waking up and then going back to sleep and dreaming about the match. I kept losing it every time she dreamt. I usually find about 2 hours before a match like this against Arthur Ashe, I start to get a little tense and go a little quiet within myself, and then about an hour before the match I'll try to get a mental picture of Arthur in my own mind, how he'll probably play the match, and anything that Arthur does I'll sort of be ready for because I've already gone through it in my mind.
But Newcombe is not ready enough. Ashe breaks through on the initial service of the match and captures the first set, 6-4. Newcombe turns the tables with a single break and a 6-3 second set. But Ashe's powerful serve and volley pins Newcombe back on the baseline in set number 3. Ashe's soft touch combines with his power game to keep Newcombe totally frustrated. Ashe is unbreakable. An ace clinches the third set. After 28 games, Arthur Ashe's service has been broken but once, and his inspired performance has John Newcombe talking to himself. Both players are models of consistency in the fourth set. Each holds service until it's 6-6. Tiebreaker time at Forest Hills, and 5 points wins the set. For Newcombe, it's now or never. For Ashe, the match is within his grasp. raising his game to a level approaching perfection itself, Newcombe sweeps the tiebreaker 5-0, and the match is even. The afternoon is approaching marathon proportions. Ultimately, it would be a 3.5-hour struggle, a spectator's delight, a player's nightmare. Ash is becoming disheartened. Newcombe appears to put it all together precisely when he needs it most. Newcombe's pinpoint accuracy is unerring, and he gains match point at 40-30 in the 10th game of the final set. A memorable U.S. Open quarterfinal match and a marvelous comeback by John Newcombe when the chips were down.
I have a saying out on the court when I'm really concentrating and really in a match that fortune favors the brave, that you don't get anywhere by pulling back. But you've got to be brave, and you've got to go for the shots that you know you can hit, and that's what I usually try to do when I find I'm in a hole.
The trauma of competition for pros and weekenders alike creates anger and frustration that must be overcome. The century-old game has come alive today, a far cry from America's first national lawn tennis tournament in 1880. But with traditions and history captured forever at the Lawn Tennis Hall of Fame in Newport, Rhode Island. Few sports have known the spiral growth tennis is now experiencing. The fallout is enormous, with all-weather indoor facilities under construction everywhere to accommodate the nation's need for exercise and conditioning. Nearly 34 million racket-swinging Americans are influenced by globe-trotting professionals. Every hacker an expert on 13-ounce rackets and vacuum-packed balls. Their courts are as varied as their strokes. Their colors and fashions as different as the rainbow. Professional tennis is as much an emotional workout as it is a physical one, especially when yearly purses now exceed $5 million. Guillermo Vilas won $100,000 as an extra bonus for being the top money winner on the Grand Prix Tour.
When I first turned professional was in January 1968. I signed for $45,000 a year for 40 weeks of play. Now it's open tennis and everybody's a professional. In the first 4 months of of this year, I won $170,000. So, I don't know, it just gets so that you seem to grow along with it, and you're not surprised at the huge amounts that are coming in. I guess they're going to get bigger and bigger.
But even John Newcombe is troubled by the pressure of big money tournaments.
Sometimes I'll just try to smile out on the court, and I'll be surprised that I can't smile. And then I'll suddenly realize that I'm getting too tense, so I'll force myself to smile in a relaxed way, just like that, so that that will mean to me, I'll know then that I've got rid of that tenseness. And usually you'll find that if I'll take a deep breath and just let the shoulders sag, and that'll take the tension out of my body, and then I can sort of renew the attack of concentration.
Concentration, the tedious task of not letting your mind wander, fighting to remain obsessed with the match at hand. Practice and relaxation are held in balance when Newcombe takes to the court at his T-Bar M ranch.
When I'm here at the ranch, it's sort of, if I've got a week off between tournaments or a couple of days off, I want to go out and sharpen up on my games. I actually do go out and get a workout with my wife on the court, and I just play in half a court and you know, keep the ball down to one refined area, and I get her to hit to my backhand or my forehand or wherever I want, and then you know, get her to give me some smashes or make me run around, just practice my serves.
Diligent practice is a necessity to hone what is supposed to be the deadliest offensive weapon in a player's arsenal, the service.
Coming through there, let's just watch that again slowly. From back here, the arm comes up, meets the ball, and now I follow through the fourth position, the follow-through on the left side of the body like that. That's the service action, actually hitting the serve. Back down here, ball up, meeting the ball and following through on this side of the body. Now, on the forehand, the things that I'm looking for when I hit the forehand is to get my racket back, of course, as soon as I see the ball coming. And that's why when you see the pros playing, they never look as if they're hurried, because their preparation is always early. So the racket goes straight back, and then you run to the ball. The racket should always be held back in this preparation position.
Former NCAA champion and Davis Cup star Barry McKay, noted for his work with youngsters, coached the California team in the Florida-California Junior Tennis Classic.
You have to have a certain amount of just coordination to start with. You can teach, I'd say, 90% of the game to somebody, but they do have to have at least the ability to make contact with the ball.
Even for these stars of tomorrow, success requires an alliance of courage, temperament, and skillful technique, with every youngster gladly enduring endless hard work as they aspire to become the best.
Way to play, Craig. Way to go, buddy.
I have set a goal each year. Last year was to go back to the Nationals. This year it is too. Probably a year after to be in the top 5 of the country.
12-year-old Craig Patterson and other young tennis players everywhere are benefiting from better guidance and coaching than ever before.
That's the way to hit him. Well played. Give me your racket, buddy. Sit down and take a break. What do you want, some water yet?
Yes.
Okay. If you're coming in, hit to his forehand when you come in, and just keep the ball. You're hitting the ball, just keep that ball in play. Don't try and force that much, because you're getting him without even forcing. In other words, just keep that ball coming back to him.
How about serving to his forehand?
Serve to his forehand.
Every once in a while, both.
Yeah. Whenever you have a choice, hit to his forehand. I think that's what it takes to become a good tournament player. Not only the desire to win, but the really hating to lose situation.
For Larry Gottfried, brother of pro Brian Gottfried, it's the dream of that path to glory.
My brother's always been into tennis, and I've always wondered where he'd go. You know, he would always leave the house early in the morning and come back late. And, you know, I said, hey, where'd he go? You know, they said, oh, he went to play tennis. I want to be the best. If I'm not the best, I don't care, you know, what I am. I want to be the greatest.
That goes for young girls as well as boys, even if tennis wasn't always #1 on their hit parade.
2.5 years ago, I played football, and I got my teeth kicked out, and my dad didn't want me to play anymore, so he handed me a tennis racket.
More and more girls are swinging rackets. The Women's Professional Tour has created career opportunities to which the best may strive. The best includes Billie Jean King, who has left her impression on the game not only with her racket, but by turning millions onto tennis for the first time. Chris Evert, her two-fisted backhand has carried her to #1 ranking. Yvonne Goolagong, whose form and grace is nothing less than classic. Champions like John Newcombe have something extra, a depth of character that drives them to dominate their opponent. So does Jimmy Connors. His game is characterized by reckless abandon with little regard for safety or percentage. Stan Smith's crunching strokes are symbolic of power tennis at its best. Eli Nastase intimidates opponents with his unpredictable personality and his supreme athletic ability. Roscoe Tanner does it with an awesome serve, described by many as the hardest in the world. Teenage wonder boy Bjorn Borg's incredible topspin spells trouble on any surface. Tour players have quickly learned to respect the talented Guillermo Vilas, a coming superstar. For more than 2 decades, they felt the sting of Ken Rosewall's backhand, the best backhand in the world, according to John Newcombe.
This is the grip that I'm using on the backhand. You see how this V between the thumb and the forefinger is coming up that ridge of the racket there. See that? Now, first thing is your ready position here, where you should be out in front and have your hand like this on your racket. And you see the ball coming, you take the racket back, not too high up here, not down too low, just in this position, halfway position here. The racket back, you shoulder back. That's very important on the backhand, to have that shoulder turned around. Now from here you want to get through to the hitting position, which you'll be meeting the ball just in front of your front foot. That's where you want to meet the ball. Now your third position will be your follow through. And you want to follow through, not straight across your body. When you follow through, you must hit the ball and come out with a racket like this, all the way until the ball has left the strings of your racket. Good, and again. Yeah. All right.
Newcombe uses the latest videotape recording equipment to get his message across.
You were nervous the first 2 you hit here, I remember. Now you hit some good ones. You start to follow through on the ball. I think did you see that follow through where you were stopping the racket? There we go. Now you've got the racket head coming out at the ball. Okay, Rich, here we go. It's not too bad. You're getting your preparation back early, coming into the ball. All right, you're sweeping across your body a little bit, like I explained, you know, coming across here, and maybe you could come out a little more at the ball, but it's quite good. You've got something to work with there.
While singles is the flame that ignites a crowd, doubles provides the spark that brings millions to play. To attain victory, one must often suppress personal pleasure for the good of the team. But perhaps tennis immortal Bill Tilden hit the nail on the head when he said, people enjoy doubles more than singles because they have less work to do and a partner to blame. Then, too, the temporary awkwardness of a top professional is inspiration for those of us who possess lesser skills and look upon doubles as the ultimate in social athletics. This is the beauty and drama of tennis, a kaleidoscope of motion, a ballet of rhythm. Professionals setting standards of excellence for youngsters who are finding their way into tennis through broadening facilities and teaching systems. A game where a well-played point is something shared as well as won or lost, where the movement of a ball binds players together. Tennis is precision and grace, but much more than that, tennis is the sport to be enjoyed for a lifetime.